When you think of bioluminescence, your mind probably jumps to the deep ocean. You picture the glowing lure of an anglerfish piercing the darkness, or fireflies blinking in a summer forest. You might already know that human bodies emit infrared radiation. That's what thermal cameras pick up as body heat. But infrared operates at a wavelength completely invisible to the human eye. What you might not realize is that right now, as you sit here, your body is emitting a constant, steady stream of actual, visible light photons. The reason you have never noticed this glow is purely a matter of intensity. The light we produce is about 1,000 times weaker than the absolute minimum sensitivity of our naked eyes. To detect a signal that faint, scientists had to rely on extremely specialized equipment. They employed cryogenic charge-coupled device cameras, sensors cooled to -120 degrees Celsius to eliminate electronic noise, allowing them to capture single photons in pitch darkness. Under these lenses, the truth is undeniable. We literally glimmer with a light that is constantly fluctuating in intensity. To understand how this signal works, we look to a 2009 study led by Masaki Kobayashi in Japan. His team took 5 healthy male volunteers, had them strip bare-chested, and placed them in completely light-tight rooms for 20 minutes at a time, every 3 hours over 3 days. This chart tracks light output. The red photon line starts dim in the morning, peaking around 4 p.m. Notice the blue cortisol line. The rising red photon line mirrors this falling blue line, directly linking the human glow to our internal biological clock. This daily rhythm originates at the microscopic level, deep inside the metabolic engine of our cells as they burn energy to keep us functioning. As our cells undergo cellular respiration to utilize glucose and oxygen, they generate a byproduct known as free radicals. These are highly reactive, erratic molecules carrying unpaired electrons, constantly looking to interact with their surroundings. These free radicals bump into other chemical compounds in our bodies, like the melanin inside our skin. When they collide, the free radical transfers its excess energy to the compound, which then sheds that energy by ejecting a solitary photon of visible light. The highest concentrations of this light appear around the face, cheeks, and neck. What the cameras capture is the literal, physical exhaust of our biological engine operating at peak capacity in the late afternoon. If this daily rhythm shows us the engine running, another study shows us exactly what happens when the engine stops. Physicist Vaid Salari and a team of researchers in Canada tested how this light behaves at the absolute boundary between life and death. They placed mice inside a dark box and recorded their photon emissions for an hour while the animals were alive. Then the mice were euthanized, and the cameras continued recording for another hour. To ensure they were tracking visible photons and not capturing residual heat fading away, the researchers controlled the temperature entirely. The deceased mice were artificially kept at a normal living body temperature. The results were clear. The moment the organism crossed from life to death, the ultra-weak photon emission almost completely vanished. Solari's team then ran a secondary experiment on plant leaves to see how this light behaves when an organism isn't dead, but simply under duress. When the researchers physically injured the plant leaves, the damaged areas generated an immediate, massive spike in glowing. This sudden flash was the result of an emergency response, as the stressed plant cells flooded the area with reactive oxygen species. Whether we look at a mammal or a plant, the link between vitality and light holds true. The glow provides a direct observation of an organism's cellular state, with the intensity shifting alongside its levels of distress. This means the human body provides a constant readout of its internal state, with its glow reflecting a hidden stream of chemical data. Because this invisible light intensifies during periods of oxidative stress, it provides a real-time, completely non-invasive status report on your cellular health and biological age. Medical researchers are currently exploring how to harness this. In the near future, diagnosing a metabolic disorder might not require a blood draw or a biopsy. A doctor could simply map the photon emission from your skin in a dark room to locate exactly where your cells are under stress. The waxing and waning of your bioluminescence rises and falls in perfect sync with a metabolism locked to the physical rotation of the Earth. We are radiant creatures, physically glowing in rhythm with the daylight. If you know someone who could use a reminder of their own brilliance, send them this video.